Good afternoon and welcome to Midday Live. We are coming to you from our studios here at Adesa Wikanda in Accra. My name is Judith Awoche Tando. Coming up in the headlines this afternoon. It's a day until deadline in ECOWAS community of West African states gave a junta in Niger to hand back power to depose civilian government. We'll bring you details as leaders meet to deliberate on plans by military chiefs. Also coming up, an economist at the University of Ghana, Professor Godfred Bokking, believes Bank of Ghana has sold its birthright, resulting in the challenges it faces currently. And our first story is a day until the deadline of the economic community of West African state. ECOWAS gave the junta in Niger to hand back power to the civilian government of disposed President Mohamed Bazoum. Now on Sunday, July 30, ECOWAS leaders, after a meeting in Abuja, warned if President Mohamed Bazoum is not reinstated within a week, force would be used to do that. Now West African defense chiefs have meanwhile made a plan for potential military intervention to reverse last week's coup in Niger, including how and when to deploy forces. ECOWAS will not divulge to the coup plotters when and where it will strike, but Abdel Fattah al-Musa, ECOWAS Commissioner for Political Affairs, Peace and Security, said on Friday that the decision will be taken by the bloc's head of state. Well, Abdul Latif Ahmed is the research lead and digital news editor at News Central TV in Nigeria. He joins me via Zoom for more on this. Good afternoon, sir. Now, Nigeria, which is the powerhouse of ECOWAS, will definitely send the bulk of troops should force be used. What have Nigerians been saying about the potential use of force?
A lot of Nigerians have expressed concerns about the potential use of force in the Niger Republic.
Right.
First we heard from senators representing most of the northern states. They have expressed concern. They are not looking positively towards any potential deployment of troops. Again, the Council of Ulamas, scholars and Muslim scholars in the north, have met and have warned against deployment of troops in Niger Republic. They are advising ECOWAS and the federal government of Nigeria to toe the line of diplomacy and see how issues can be resolved without the deployment of troops in Niger. So far, and most Nigerians are looking, to see that deployment does not happen because it will spell doom for both parties.
Right. Now, Nigeria has its own security issues from Boko Haram, kidnappings, and farmer-herder clashes. Now, Abuja still have the appetite to engage the operations in Niger, knowing these challenges at home?
Well, the fact that there are challenges at home does not mean that we should fold our arms to watching the escalate around us. A certain proverb will say that when you see that there's fire, in the house of your neighbor, you do not wait until you get water. I mean, you have to prepare for eventuality. Of the military is that there's a potential reverberation across, yes, Nigeria has its own security challenges, but because the boss is the president, he must be seen to act, to demonstrate leadership, expected of him. However, there is a chance that the part of diplomacy will win at the end of the day.
Right. Now, Nigeria has already cut power supply to Niger. Are there reports of harassment of Nigerians in Niger?
I've not heard any harassment of Nigerians in Niger at the moment. However, the cutting of supply of electricity and other economic sanctions, I think they are sufficient to bring Niger to its knees. But you see, again, Niger could come down affected deeply by some of these sanctions. But those who have actually who are beneficiaries of the coup will not be directly affected. So you're talking about supply of food, grains, supply of livestock, for example, trade and investment across the two countries and even the entire region, and even aid from foreign donors. Again, if the sanctions are allowed to run its course, in the next few months, it will be very disastrous for the economy and even the political climate in Niger, and that may result to a lot of unforeseen crises. These are avoidable because, again, if our intention is to reprimand those who have the coup plotters, then those who are at the receiving end of such sanctions are actually ordinary denizens of Niger.
Right. Now, lastly, before you go, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Guinea, all with military rulers, have warned that an attack against Niger will be seen as an attack on them. Is this causing concerns from what you're gathering?
So for me, it's understandable. They are all linked by nearly the same fate. They are Francophone countries. They have been affected by the obtrusive interlopement of France, and so there's a current of anti-France rhetoric across the region. So it is seen that the overthrow of power in Niger is pro-Africa or pro-Nigerians and anti-French. Therefore, they are supporting, the junta in Niger because they think they are aligned. They think if anything happens to that junta, it may spiral to those countries too. So you have Algeria, for example, aligning with Niger because of its anti-French sentiments. You have Mali and Burkina Faso aligned also in that same line. So it's understandable. But it's not something of concern. The only worry is that ECOWAS may not remain the same if we push on with the military option as the chairman of ECOWAS had muted earlier on.
Right. Thank you very much. And that was Abdul Latif Ahmed. He is a research lead and digital news editor at News Central TV in Nigeria. Now, in related development, international relations and security expert Professor Vladimir Nchudanso has emphasized the need for ECOWAS to accelerate integration and develop regional security understanding to resolve potential conflicts.
Professor Vladimir Nchudanso urged ECOWAS to be proactive.
ECOWAS needs to sit up and revise its notes. How many times have we not threatened and how many times have we succeeded? How many times have we not put sanctions and have we not threatened to do this, to do that? It is the people you hurt. And then when the people call your bluff, like Mali did call the bluff of ECOWAS, what has happened? It is an encouragement for any other person also to do whatever they would want to do. The point is, I strongly suspect that ECOWAS' mistake lies in the fact that we are not a unified entity yet like Europe. We don't have a standing army like Europe, like NATO. We had a nascent community security force in ECOMOG, but we dissolved it. If ECOMOG were still in operation, then we could easily mobilize. All we need to do is to supply the troops and equipment. So the best for ECOWAS, my advice would be to speed up the integration process and have a regional security kind of understanding. But now that we don't have that regional security understanding, each country wants to make sure that its security is assured by its military.
The security experts months ago predicted the political crisis in Niger.
These are coups that are coming as systemic coups. The system is imploding. Aridity, bad governance, and ungoverned spaces, economic hardships, and terrorism are clear manifestations of a state which is failing. And in that sense, the military is the only institution that can hold the country together. The military feels it needs to step in other than that they are the ones who are suffering. They go to the war front and they don't return.
On Senegal, he attributed the unrest to anti-France sentiments.
If you watch what is happening in Senegal, there is so much anti-French sentiment, especially that France is not saying anything to what is happening. And now Senegal wants to be part of the two contributing countries to go into Niger. And the people just feel that, no, this is not a way. Of course, technically the government is right, and legally too, because it is part of ECOWAS, and if ECOWAS is going in, then they can go in. But then the people back home, if they don't support a military cause, any war where the people do not have a support for it will normally go to fail. So surely, Senegal must watch out. They must be very careful as to how they send troops. And again, in such a situation, when they fail in Niger, or when many of their countrymen die and the corpses are being brought, it can spark off some turmoil.
The sub-region faces a potential crisis as military chiefs from ECOWAS member states consider whether or not to make a military intervention in coup-troubled Niger.
Let's head back to Ghana now. An economist at the University of Ghana, Professor Godfred Bokpin, is of the view that the Bank of Ghana has sold its birthright, resulting in the challenges it faces currently. Now, this comes in the wake of the 2022 loss of over 60 billion cedis posted by the Bank of Ghana. Now, meanwhile, former Finance Minister and MP for the Cape Coast South, Kweku Ricketts-Hagan, insists that the Bank of Ghana cannot blame the domestic debt exchange program for the majority of losses it has posted, as it seeks to do.
Way of preserving those national institutions so that our politics does not, because the way it is now, we've practically destroyed the central bank. Okay, we have incapacitated the central bank in taking up certain key interventions when they become necessary. And ultimately, we are undermining confidence in our financial system. Remember, the central bank could be policy solvent, but that doesn't restore total confidence in our system. We failed to protect the balance sheet of the central bank, but largely also because the central bank sold its birthright in the first place.
I don't understand how this debt exchange would have created such a colossal amount of money. I buy a bond from you, and then I said, I'm giving you a 50% haircut. Yeah. So your receivables are going to go down. Yeah. So basically, you are exposed. Yeah. How do I become exposed? Because I am the one going to pay you. So if I'm not going to pay you, that money would then become a credit
to you,
to me. So how can Bank of Ghana claim that it is the debt exchange that has caused them that money? The explanation you were giving about all the things that happened that they had to pay for, it's quite tangible for me to understand.
Now, away from that, the Ghana Education Directorate in the Setria, Afram Plains District, is worried about the impact of the overflow of the Sine River on its operations ahead of the start of the 2023 BECE on Monday, August 7th. The exam will from August 7th to Friday, August 11, 2023 be held. Now, the flooding situation has blocked the main road linking to Drobonso and Ayif-Nofi, which is the second largest examination center. Now let's go over to the lines and speak with Prince Owusu-Ansah, the Education Director for the Setria Afram Plains District. Good afternoon, sir. Now, is it still raining in the district?
Good afternoon, and thank you for calling me. Yes, it is still raining across the district.
Right, and how? Okay.
Hello.
We are listening, sir.
Yes, the Setria Afram Plains District is one of the high raining areas. It rains a lot. And because it's a low-lying area, and with the presence of large rivers, the district gets easily flooded, especially during the height of the rainy season like this. And so greater portions of the district are now cut off. Nobody enters, no one leaves.
Right,
and the current situation, yes.
Right. So how widespread is the flooding situation? And has the District Education Directorate contacted NADMO for support in transporting the exam materials?
Yes, we have done that. The District Assembly is very much aware of the situation. The DCE, the NADMO coordinator, they are all aware of the situation. But unfortunately, NADMO is also hugely challenged in terms of infrastructure. and therefore they are very much unable to deal with the situation. So with the DEC ahead, just coming Monday, as a directorate, we try to find alternative means to get the questions to the place. You know, that center serves 4 schools. And because they are very far away from the district capital, in fact, closer to Atebubu, and so their depot is at Atebubu. They pick the questions from Atebubu and then send it to Anyinofi, which is about 20 miles away. Right. But the road is so bad that it will take you between 2 hours, 2.5 hours to get to the place. You see. Now, because of the situation there, no vehicle can ply that route. And so we spoke with Zipline Ghana Limited to help us to lift the questions and drop it at Anyinofi by drones, which they readily agreed to. So we informed WIC, and WIC also accepted that arrangement. Unfortunately, what we didn't know at the time was that Zipline cannot lift the answer script from Anyinofi to Mampong. Right. Yes. We didn't know that. We got to know that later. And so they are ready to lift and drop the questions there for the candidates to write. But after the examination, how to get the script back to the depot has become a real challenge now that we are trying to deal with. And in fact, it will be very difficult to do that. Now, I understand the situation has even worsened with another downpour yesterday. Right. So, yes. So the communities there are planning to get a canoe to put there so that they will use it to be crossing to Atebubu. We cannot reach that with examination material, which are high security material. Exactly. Because anything at all can happen. And so we're pleading with WIC to agree with us. There's a police station at Anyinofi. So after the examination, we keep the script there under the watch of the police service at Anyinofi. So the end of the examination on Friday, by which time we are hoping that the situation would have been better, so that we could then convey the materials in bulk to WIC at their depot. Right. But my supervisor informed me that the WIC controller called him and said that one they cannot allow that. Okay. Okay. Yes, that is the situation now. We don't know what to do, actually. For Zipline, we are ever ready to lift and drop the question there. But the real challenge now is how the answer scripts get back to the WIC depot. Right. We're hoping that a solution would be found for that in the shortest possible time. But that was Prince Owusu-Ansah. He's the Education Director for Setri, Afram Plains District. We're moving on to some more stories on education, and Deputy Executive Director of the National Service Scheme in charge of operations, Kweko Hinijan, has appealed to the private sector to consider service personnel for employment after 1 year mandatory service. He told TV3 on the sidelines of a stakeholder engagement with some players in private in Kumasi that such opportunities will help reduce the high rate of graduate unemployment.
The national service is a mandatory 1 year period. And so once you serve after the 1 year, we expect that you move on. So over the time, the scheme is also involved in quite a number of models to open up. And the whole idea is that once we have been able to open up a bit, after the service, we'd expect that people will be self-employed. And then we also expect that some of them, or most of them, would be employed at the places where they have their national service. So, of course, it is the wish of managers of the scheme that wherever these personnel are posted, once they discharge themselves very well, and then the opportunity for employment exists, would make that passionate appeal to managers of wherever they are, that they do consider them for permanent employment.
Let's do some politics now. On the campaign team of the New Patriotic Party NPP presidential candidate hopeful Alan Kojo Kyerematen say that they have discovered anomalies in the proposed album for the party's upcoming Super Delegates Conference after conducting an audit on it. Now, the Alan team raised these concerns in a letter dated 2nd August 2023, signed by the head of elections planning and management for the Kyerematen campaign, Nana Oheninto, and addressed to the chairman of the NPP Presidential Elections Committee. Now, the NPP will, on August 26, 2023, hold its Super Delegates Conference to shortlist the number of presidential aspirants from 10 to 5. The 5 will take part in the presidential primaries to be held on November 4, 2023. Now let's speak to Yaw Boabeng Asamoah. He's a member of the Alan Kyerematen campaign team. Good afternoon, sir. Now, what anomalies have you detected after conducting an audit on the delegates album?
Thank you for having me.
Right.
The party has put in place a process managed by a committee seating the aspirants as well to deal with issues leading up to the special delegates vote.
Right.
And so we've received a copy of the proposed album. That's the register. We asked to review and send back our comments, which we've done. And meetings have been held on the comments.
Right. Now, have your concerns been addressed, or have they been responded to after raising the queries?
We had a meeting. We had a meeting on the queries.
Right. And so have they been addressed?
The committee.
Okay, and lastly, President Akufo-Addo said that he's not supporting any of the aspirants. What do you make of this?
Yes, it's very useful. The president, an individual, saying that he doesn't support anybody in the process, and then going ahead, show delegates that he believes in them. He's confident that they will elect the party and will be able to take care of the party and deliver victory in 2024. That certainly will give delegates who are doubting what is happening. We've heard reports. For example, recently about potential voters from the register being asked to provide proxies in place of themselves, because there's a belief that those who are them to provide proxies don't think they will vote the way they want them to vote. So if you're likely to vote a way that they don't want, they will prefer that you vote in a certain way, and you don't do it, then they will give you a proxy so that the proxy will vote the way they want. And this is something that we've picked up and we are working on very closely. We are monitoring very closely those indeed.
Right. Thank you very much. And that was Yaw Boabeng Asamoah. He is a member of the Alan Kyerematen campaign team. He's been joining us with more details on those queries there. You're watching Midday Live. We'll be back with more stories. Please do stay with us.
Lotto Ghana Padia and one they were 539 direct, the best lotto game in Ghana. You will hear say Ubenya with solid magic numbers. A free bako, equasi 39.
Wow! Directory enough winning no each show.
Abran Hedino, what the 2 Ghana cities pay and a 2 you. And to also call *446# across all networks. Ucha direct one. Obedi 20 times Sika Udikayeno. Ucha direct tour. Obedi 40 times Sika Udikayeno. And a direct train so Ebema wedi 400 times.
A fat winning no each show.
Kwame so enedino. A fat winning no each show. Hey! Direct to me trying to farm me. Winning no the show camper. They were 539 direct. A fat
winning no each show.
The fishing industry in Ghana is of prime importance to the economy and the well-being of the people. Sadly, this critical industry faces a hidden threat that threatens its very existence and survival. Join us as we shine our spotlight on the canker of illegal fishing, a practice that has devastated our marine resources, depleting our fish stock, leaving our fishermen with empty nets, fish processors struggling to survive, and our communities in dire straits. We delve into safe fish handling and processing, certification and licensing schemes. We focus our sharp lenses on child labor and trafficking in fishing communities to demand accountability and responsiveness from duty bearers. Join 3 Foundations advocacy for Ghana's fisheries recovery through missions compelling and captivating advocacy. Keep an eye out on TV3. This program is under the auspices of the Feed the Future Ghana Fisheries Recovery Activity, funded by USAID, from the American people, live on News 360 and across all Media General social media platforms.
This Sunday on TV3, we bring you another episode of Ghana's Strongest. But this time, it is the semi-final. And for the first time, it is 5 different challenges. We go the extra mile this time to test these gentlemen remaining in the show, what they have to get into the final of the competition. Four men will have to get into the final, but 5 remain. 1 will be evicted. Who will it be? Join them this Sunday as we bring you Ghana's Strongest semi-final from Tema Metropolitan Assembly. Remember, time is 4 p.m. Ghana's Strongest, the power to do.
Catch Ghana's Strongest this Sunday at 4 p.m. only on TV3. Ghana's Strongest is powered by Gasem, the nation builder. Brought to you by Mixi Choco, Channel Hot,
Deluxy Acrylic Paint,
Drugnet.
After a beautiful unveiling of this year's 16 regional representatives of Ghana's Most Beautiful, the contestants are faced with their very first task of storytelling. They will embrace the age-old tradition of storytelling, where every word carries the potential to transport us to new realms of enchantment. In this quest for narrative brilliance, our contestants have not only prepared stories that tug at their heartstrings, but also stories that ignite the spark of inspiration. Join us from the studios of TV3 this Sunday at 8 p.m. Keep your contestants in the competition by dialing *713*13# or download the TV3 reality app to vote.
GMB 2023 is sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix, GTP, Techno Camon 20 Series, AT, Pepsodent Charcoal and Lemon Infused Formula and Pepsodent Natural Herbal Formula, Geisha Moringa and Geisha Black Soup, Key Soap, Bell Pack Tissues, Sankofa Natural Spices, Vitamilk,
Deluxy Acrylic Paint,
Nescofa Blood Tonic, Heaven Black Mosquito Spray and Coil, Enapa Foods,
Freedom from Casapreco,
Frutelli Calipo, Duffy's Health and Beauty, Obuasi Bitters, Nubuna Womwankasa, Dragnet, Top Choco, Global Wings Travel and Tour.
Makeup was done by House of Tara.
It's the annual culinary competition between SHS institutions here in Ghana. We are done with Group A. This week is the turn of Group B.
It's a war because your school fee could. Let's go back and Yakasa. Oswa. Yahweh. Oswa. Yahweh.
Kobo is shining.
Oh, yes.
Kobo is shining.
Oh, yes.
Zimpa.
Yes,
good name.
It's better than Rachel.
Good name.
It's better than Rachel.
You close it. Let me.
The roof is on fire. Open fire service.
We'll be represented here to face the heat in the kitchen. Who makes their school proud. Join us this Sunday. My name is Cookie. It is Kitchen Wars Season 2.
Kitchen Wars Season 2 shows Sundays at 5 p.m. on TV3. Don't miss it.
Sponsored by Gino Tomato Mix.
And Napa Foods. Say Napa. Enye ono soko.
PGL.
Welcome back. Now, personnel from the Ghana National Fire Service were able to douse a fire that caught shops in Accra's New Town. The fire was started in the wee hours of Saturday dawn at 2:30 a.m., swept away valuables worth thousands of cedis, leaving the owners of the shops in distress.
This is Accra New Town, and you can clearly tell that the smoke has engulfed this entire space. There has been a fire outbreak here, and you can clearly see a team from the Ghana National Fire Service trying as hard as they can to bring the fire under control. We have been told that there are a number of shops that have been wrecked, to have been burnt down totally. At the moment, we can't tell exactly what caused the fire incident, but a number of people have lost their items in there. But at the moment, the Ghana National Fire Service team are still trying to bring the fire under control. A number of residents here are out in shock whilst they are cheering the team up to bring the fire under control.
So I see the smoke, they come outside. So I don't know where the smoke they come from. Now I stand up. Before I stand up, before I go no, the 3 stone, the container where they do stamp for that side. That place and the barber shop, the catch go up. So from there, I myself, I run, enter inside my room, I go feel save something from my room. Smoke don't take all the room, so I don't feel take anything. So from there, they shout, they go for container people side. Before we go come out, everything don't burn. So now like that it started from barber shop and the stamp people side there, come from my side. Now my side be the last one where you enter here before you people come. My things, my clothes, my money, then my husband is I sell here, all the money, everything go. The business way they do, everything go.
What does your husband do?
He said drink, he said sport. So he said NGO himself. So everything just go like that.
Sorry.
Yeah, so far so good. It's like 4 shops have been burnt. First one, as you can see, close to the roadside, it's a computer accessory shop. They do repairs and maintenance also. And then the next one is drinking spot. And then after drinking spot, there's a barbering shop. After the barbering shop, there's a rubber stamp shop. So according to sources outside, as the fire started, it seems like they came from between the drinking spots and then the barbering shop. You understand? So the owner of the drinking spot is not around himself. His fiancée is the one running it, and at the same time she leaves the shop and she sells indomie in front of the ECD transformers.
We are also hearing it was as a result of an illegal power connection. Is that true?
I can't tell because I'm in the technical man.
But you've been speaking with the Ghana National Fire Service team.
Yes, that's what like you said. They said it's as a result of electrical whatever, bad connection or bad wiring or whatever. You can't tell whether it's an illegal connection or whatever.
All right, sure.
You know, it may be any. It may be any.
Okay.
Yeah. So as we speak right now, fire service have been able to quench the fire.
All right.
Yeah. So far so good. I'm pleased with the work and the rapid response of fire service.
Okay.
That people have ridiculed them and then made so much complaints about them that they don't respond to issues rapidly. But what I see right now, I can tell you that I'm very, very pleased and then
Okay, thank you.
On to some more stories. 8 divisional chiefs in Medina have congratulated the Member of Parliament for Medina for his efforts that resulted in the passing of the 3 bills in Parliament, including repealing the death penalty. Spokesperson for the Lankwantanan Manche, Emmanuel Nikoi, said the chiefs would support the MP to drive development.
In the last 2 weeks, a number of bills were passed in Parliament, ending years of pressure from civil society organizations. Parliament, in addition to abolishing the death penalty, also amended the Criminal Offences Act to decriminalize suicide. It also passed the Anti-Witchcraft Bill, which decriminalizes witchcraft, thus preventing attacks on alleged witches. The Member of Parliament, Francis Xavier Susu, was instrumental in sponsoring these bills. 8 divisional chiefs from the Lankwantanan Medina area recognized the efforts of the MP, said they would support his agenda to develop Medina. A spokesperson for the Lankwantanan Manche, Emmanuel Nikoi, said the move will also bring togetherness.
Happy that our MP is very, very forthright. Is pushing for the development of the country in Parliament, and we appreciate his hard work, and we encourage him to push forward and ensure the development of the nation.
For his part, the MP for Medina, Francis Xavier Susu, said he remains committed to his manifesto to bring development to the doorsteps of residents.
I think the inspiration comes from the desire to continue to reach out to our community and to reach out to our people. As you are very much aware, in Medina is a community of diversity. We have Christians, we have Muslims, we have traditionalists. As you may be well aware, annually we have the Susu Christmas outreach that we do.
The visits by the MP preceded the celebration of the Homowo Festival, which climaxes on Saturday.
On to some health stories now. HIV-exposed infants in the country have increased despite interventions preventing transmission. Persistent stigma and refusal to inform partners about their condition contribute to the gap in reducing cases, as some pregnant women refuse to disclose their status. My colleague Sarah Apenkro has been finding out more.
Mothers aim to nurture healthy children without complications, and Abigail's resolve led to her baby being HIV-free, demonstrating the importance of addressing HIV in pregnancy.
I've been trying way back to get a child because I thought I would die. When I had my baby and I got to know that she's negative, I was so happy because it has lifted a burden off my shoulders.
She is among many women whose stories contribute to the steady decline in mother-to-child infection cases in recent years. But the Ghana AIDS Commission reports increased rate. 4,152 out of 24,000 incidents, representing 17.3% of HIV-exposed infants, were recorded in 2022, an increase from the 15.7% transmission rate recorded in 2021.
Previously, we had places where these mothers, they are traditional birth attendants who were in the home. So you talk about the northern regions, the traditional northern, upper east, upper west, and northern regions. And so we started a program where we made sure that we train the traditional birth attendant to make sure that they were encouraged, because every family have a traditional birth attendant in those regions. And so we encourage them to come to the health facility with them. And so that has also helped. But you still have persons who do not visit, the health facilities for antenatal service.
The Director for Nursing Services and Midwifery at the Rich Hospital and practitioner for 32 years, Gifty Aye, observed infected pregnant women requesting negative test results. Some mothers avoid taking ARTs to avoid attracting their partner's attention.
Majority don't come with their husbands or even tell them or want to even tell them. They always want to keep it. But we encourage them that it is best for the man to know. But another time, to go to stigmatization, they don't want their husbands to know that they are taking it. They don't want their family members to know that they are taking it. So they will keep it to themselves. Sometimes they take it quietly without them knowing. Others too, they won't even come. When they see that it's positive, the fact, the stigmatization, even some people cry and break down, we need to really counsel them to come out of it. Others too, don't even want to change the results.
She acknowledged policy gaps affecting intervention implementation.
Something should be done about the drugs being dispersed to the hospitals, because the frequency and always being available, and also it being available in other areas whereby it will be easily accessible to these mothers.
Abigail faced family stigma but persevered and inspired other mothers to overcome it with minimal effort.
But it affected my family, and due to that my mom and dad had to separate. The extended family too got to know about it through my dad, and they abandoned me. Everybody had to go away from us, my mom and then my siblings. But upon all the rejections to date, they don't want to get closer to me, but I haven't given up.
He advised for mothers.
The way my body reacts to my medication is different from somebody's own. So I wouldn't know how it is. Somebody will say when she takes, she vomits a lot. And because of that, she can't take. But when you take and you vomit, you have any reaction, you have to get back to the facility. But if you say because you are vomiting or you are having reactions and you won't go to the, you are not doing us any good, and you are not doing your child to any good.
The issues are enormous and real, but until policymakers do their part and pregnant women take the responsibility to deliver healthy babies, this issue of mother-to-child transmission of the disease will remain a challenge in the country. Sarah Apenko, TV3 News, Accra.
Now, new HIV infections among men are significantly lower than those of women, raising questions about the true nature of AIDS, which is often attributed to women. Emmanuel Samani has more.
Commission's 2020 HIV estimates show a 2.6% increase from 2021, with 354,927 people living with the disease. 1,000 are males, while 290,000 are females. This gender disparity affects HIV management in the country, highlighting the need for better understanding and addressing the issue.
We will want to see a much sharper decline, a much steeper decline, for us to achieve epidemic control by the year 2030. But as it looks, it is not promising at all. And so we have to continue, doubling our efforts to ensure that we reach the coverage levels.
We've been finding out why men are reluctant to check their status.
My God, I'm saving. He's my healer and my maker. So all the time, my trust on him.
Don't just be playing on the street and then think and say there's some spirit somewhere that will guide you and other stuff. Let's be safe.
Well, I believe myself, so I don't know the reason why I should go and test it.
Well, I'm strong. I don't engage in myself in those kind of acts, so I don't.
Sexually active.
Yeah, sexually active. Yeah.
Women often visit health centers for various reasons, while men do not. Dr. Jenfi identifies issues requiring attention.
Why are we having almost the same number of people getting infected and dying at the same time? That's a very important issue we have to look into. But the point is that you first have to know your HIV status to receive the treatment and care services that will keep you alive, productive, and healthy.
Ghana aims to achieve zero new HIV infections by 2030 through inclusivity, awareness, and strategic interventions. Collaborations between government agencies, healthcare providers, NGOs, and community advocates is crucial for a healthier, more resilient society.
Well, let's do some sports news now, and Yao Labi is standing by for sports.
Thank you so much, Judith. My name is Yao Ofusulabi. I'm the Ashanti Regional Director for the National Sports Authority. Emmanuel Kojo Appiah has disclosed that the Baba Stadium is closed from all football-related activities until September 2023. The Black Stars will play host to the Central African Republic in the 2023 AFCON qualifier.
I think the facility is ready. Now we don't have problem with the dressing room issue that we had earlier. the extensions that we were expected to do, we've done it. Now the issue is with the pitch. The pitch is looking a little bit weird, and I think we have a month to do intensive work on the pitch. Fortunately for us, initially we were supposed to play top 4, but GALCA cancelled that competition. That has helped us. It has taken off a huge burden from our shoulders, and we can take our time and do the necessary pitch maintenance. So aside of the pitch maintenance, which is not a problem at all, I think we are good to go.
All right, so the Black Stars will play the Central African Republic in September, and that game will take place at the Baba Yara Stadium. There is the final AFCON qualifier, and Ghana still need to win that game to qualify for the AFCON next year. Now, FIFA is investigating an official complaint that Zambia coach Bruce Mwape sexually assaulted a player at the Women's World Cup. Mwape is accused of rubbing his hands over the chest of one of the players during a training session in New Zealand on July 29. A complaint has been received, a FIFA spokesperson said, but the Football Association of Zambia said it has not received any such complaints, and it is a surprise. The alleged incident is said to have taken place during a training session 2 days before their final group match against Costa Rica, which Zambia won by 3-1 for their first victory at a World Cup. FIFA's spokesperson added, FIFA takes any allegation of sexual misconduct extremely seriously and has a clear process in place for anyone in football who wants to report an incident. Zambia have returned home, having been eliminated after finishing 3rd in Group C. Well, now to England, where Mikel Arteta says he is really excited to face the best team in Europe in the Community Shield this weekend. Man City won the treble last season, and Arsenal finished 2nd.
Very excited to play a final, have the option to. Is the team to beat, is the best team in Europe last season, and we know what the standards are and what we're going to need to win the game, but really excited. Well, we are in the process, we are working on a few things, we have to make a few decisions, there's still time to do that. We are very happy with the squad that we have, that's for sure, but as well we have to make sure that we can have and share the minutes in the right way for the team to have a healthy competition within the squad, and we are working on that.
Is there an optimum number of players you want in the squad?
Optimal people and optimal players, that's what I want.
Well, that's Mikel Arteta's Arsenal, who face Manchester City tomorrow in the Community Shield. It should be a really good game. But Manchester United are taking on Lens at the moment. Lens also finished 2nd in the League One last season, and Lens are leading by 1-0 at the halftime break. My name is Yao Ofusulabi, and that's all the sports news this afternoon here on Midday Live on TV3. After the break, the news will continue.
It is said that all drugs are poisons, but the right dose is what differentiates a poison from a remedy. Did you know that globally more than 11.8 million deaths are recorded each year as a result of drug misuse?
Did you also know that most adverse drug events could have been prevented if only you had spoken to your pharmacist?
And are you aware that untreated sexually transmitted infection could lead to infertility in the long term?
Ask Your Pharmacist is the only health show that brings pharmacists to the discussion to educate you on what that drug does to your body and help you better understand the medical condition and that pill before you swallow it.
So join us as we bring you exciting, compelling, and didactic health content every week right here on the station. My name is Peggy.
My name is Asabia.
And I am Kunedu. And we are your hosts.
Ask Your Pharmacist. Stay informed. Stay healthy. Ask Your Pharmacist Season 3 is proudly brought to you by Dragnet, the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, Let Up Pharmaceuticals, Chango, U School, and the Tema Christian Eye Center.
Ask Your Pharmacist shows Sunday at 1 p.m. on TV3.
Are you ready to win solid cash
every day with Cash Out. Be a proud winner of lots of cash simply by watching or listening to any of Media General stations. That's right, you are being rewarded for your loyalty. Tune in to all Media General brands. TV3, 3FM 92.7, Onia TV, Onia FM 95.1, all in Accra, Akuma FM 87.9 in Kumasi, and Connect FM 97.1 in Takrady. To enter the Cash Out raffle on your favorite Media General station, just dial *439#. Follow the prompt and pick your favorite platform to enter. Voila! You are now eligible to become one of the 10 lucky winners of a cool cash prize. Remember, this is every day, all day on your favorite Media General station. Cash out and win big! This is in partnership with Radio Entertainment Limited. This promo is regulated by the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey! What do you do with some cool $2,000? Okay. Here to Win game show is exactly what you need. It's the only game show where you are already rich before you begin to play. Every week, 2 lucky people stand the chance of winning money. All you have to do is go through some quizzes and fun games. Somebody from Peru is called Perusian. Whatever you say, you have to be proud because your family people are watching you. Somebody from Madagascar is called Malagasy. Correct!
Okay, let's go.
It's you that will tell me let's go. You are not even winning.
Okay. Hold and stand and jump to basket.
Amazing.
Just go.
Ayikwe Ama. Be proud. Okay. First of all, Ayikwe supposed to be a man or a woman? Put it on your forehead. Ayikwe. Be a part of this game show right here on TV3 and take home some cool cash. Oh my God! Come join us on Here to Win game show where you win it all. Hey, yo, mama! Hey, mama! Hey, yo, mama! Hey, mama! Here to Win!
Here to Win, premiering on Saturday, 12 August at 8 p.m. on TV3.
She was born in Ghana but left to the UK at the age of 2. That's where she had all of her education. Later on in life, she took up customer service. She was the head of customer service for Fidelity Bank and also a branch manager for Barclays Bank. After a little while, she shifted just a little bit from all of that and now has become a certified etiquette coach.
When meeting somebody for the first time, always greet them with a smile.
Thank
a smile instantly, breaks down barriers. It makes people feel comfortable. They feel like they're going to be in the company of somebody very warm and welcoming.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week on Today's Woman, our guest is the quintessential Shika Goka. Make sure you make a date with us right here on TV3 Saturday at 3 p.m. with me, Cookie, on Today's Woman.
Today's Woman with Cookie T shows Saturdays at 3 p.m. on TV3. Brought to you by Latex Foam, Vlisco.
Now, in some entertainment news, the Dream Child Foundation, in partnership with UNESCO and other agencies, has stepped up efforts to empower youth through music and arts and culture. The introduction of the Hood Talk Music Festival is one of the major events on the Ghanaian events calendar.
September at the Independence Square.
Running from September 2nd to December 9th, 2023, the Hood Talk Music Festival is characterized by several activities and events aimed at promoting child wellness and youth empowerment. Powered by the Dream Child Foundation, the festival, through its road shows and live musical performances, will showcase talent, fashion and arts exhibition in different cities across the country. The festival is also expected to bring together all music enthusiasts to interact and address several issues for the common good. Speaking at the launch of the Who Talk Music Festival, the president of Dream Child Foundation, Reginald Daniel Layi, said the festival is targeting the construction of 5 pediatric clinics with proceeds from the event.
This is how the Who Talk concept came about. We believe that through the power of music, we'll be able to raise funds to achieve this target. We are committed to coming up with 5 pediatric hospital. It's at a foundation that we're looking to having people join us, create a difference in the life of the African child. We still believe that the African child is disadvantaged, and there's every opportunity to make their lives better. We are beginning to put a certain dream into reality.
Daddy Bosco is the head of communications and special projects at the Musicians Union of Ghana.
I believe it's going to be one of the most exciting happenings in Ghana. I mean, taking a musical show across a number of regions, targeting primarily the youth, getting them to come out and talk about issues that concern them. And ultimately, I believe we'll be able to achieve our objective of building at least 5 pediatric centers for children across the country. And I want to believe that the musicians who will be on this tour will know that it's a privilege for them to engage with the youth, impact their lives, and possibly set them on the path for a better Ghana.
Celebrate tonight. Show them how them do.
Now, fast-rising Ghanaian artist Olive the Boy has been named Apple's Music App Next Star, joining the ranks of Burna Boy, Rema and Tems as talents to have attained the feat. Now, the App Next initiative is aimed at identifying, showcasing and elevating rising talents in order to raise global awareness of the artists and grow their audience. Olive the Boy made headlines in June this year when he was named #1 in the official Chartmetrics list of the top 5 most streamed Ghanaian artists in the first half of 2023. Now, Olive the Boy's maiden song, Good Sin, beat the likes of Kim Promise's Terminator and Into the Future by Stone Boy to take the first spot. In a press release, Olive the Boy's management noted that the coveted platform will propel Olive the Boy's career to new heights. And that's all for entertainment news. Up next is international news. Now, Saudi Arabia has kicked off a weekend summit in Jeddah in which senior officials from some 40 countries, but not Russia, will be aimed to draft key principles on how to end Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed the wide range of countries represented in the talks that began on Saturday, including developing countries hit hard by the surge in food prices triggered by the war. Russia's last month halted its participation in a United Nations brokered grain deal that enabled the shipment of Ukraine produce through the Black Sea to parts of the world struggling with hunger. Let's zoom on international news now. And NASA is back in full contact with its lost Voyager 2 probe months earlier than expected, the space agency has said. Now, in July, a wrong command was made to the spacecraft sent to explore space in 1977, changing its position and severing contact. A signal was picked up on Tuesday, but thanks to an interstellar shout, a powerful instruction, its antenna is now back facing the Earth. NASA had originally pinned hopes on the spacecraft resettling itself in October. It took 37 hours for mission controllers to figure out if the interstellar command had worked, as Voyager 2 is billions of miles away from the Earth. Staff used the highest power transmitter to send the message to the spacecraft and timed it to be sent during the last best conditions so that the antenna lined up with the command, Voyager project manager Susan Dawn told AFP. And that's all for Midday Live with me, Judith Awache Tando. It's a pleasure always coming to you. Do stay tuned for the rest of our programs.